forget the skill set you have. Somebody who's willing to take some feedback, grow themselves, check those boxes, say, okay, somebody said I don't have enough of this, I can fix that. That's more valuable than any skill set you would have. That shows who you are as a human, and that's the type of people that we want at BlueHalo.
Welcome to Security Cleared Jobs, Who's Hiring and How, the podcast for cleared professionals looking for new opportunities and career advice. We go behind the scenes with recruiters and hiring managers from leading cleared employers to uncover the information you need to make a smart career move. Get ready for insights from this week's guest and your hosts, Kathleen Smith and Rachel Bozeman.
Hello, fabulous listeners. This is Kathleen with ClearedJobs.Net. Thank you for joining us again. And I am so excited to be with my dear friend, even though she's in a much warmer climate than I am right now. So how are you, my magical fairy of recruiting world, Rachel?
Man, the words you use just always make me even warmer. So absolutely, I'm excited to be here, Kathleen, as always, and even more excited to meet our fabulous guest today. So don't make us wait. Who in the heck are we talking to today?
We are talking with Mark Diehl, project manager at BlueHalo. Mark, thanks for coming to our crazy show this morning. We're really in rare form. So, Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, I like to start at the very beginning because it's always fun to learn how people ended up in their current career. So if you don't mind just telling us a little bit about your career journey and how you landed your current gig at BlueHalo.
Sure. In high school, I wanted a free t-shirt from the Air Force. It came with 9-year commitment of my life. So
9 years well spent. Thank you for your service.
Fly high.
Yeah. So they convinced an 18-year-old to join a career field that they couldn't tell me anything about. And I was intrigued and I joined, and I ended up at the fort here and in the intel community. After 9 years of military service, I became a contractor, continued the same line of work, joined a small company that needed a program manager, and I raised my hand and said, I'll give it a shot.
Well, I have a question, though. Did BlueHalo give you a t-shirt, too?
Actually, one of the best secrets at BlueHalo is we have a lot of swag, so I have a lot of BlueHalo shirts. More than the Air Force ever gave me.
Cool. Yeah,
love it. I'll remind you of my address later. I'll take
there you
one
go.
of those. That'd be great.
So swag aside, what you can tell us, I know, because we're talking cleared community and you've been Intel analyst and you sort of know the parameters. What kind of cleared work does BlueHalo do in the community?
We actually have a ton of it. So we're a couple thousand people large, and we have all kinds of positions that utilize all types of clearance levels. Here specifically, the programs that I manage and the ones adjacent to me are more for the customer here that requires a top secret SCI, poly, full scope, the whole gambit. So again, within that, there's all kinds of career fields that we're looking for. Software engineers are always critical and everybody needs them. System engineers, system administrators, Intel analysts, CNO analysts, cyber analysts. Honestly, if you want to come to BlueHalo, I think we can find something for you. There's plenty of stuff here to do.
We've had BlueHalo on our podcast before, but one question that we didn't ask at that time was, where does the name come from?
Yeah, so it's a blue halo. It's a protective ring around the planet of everything you care about. So our company's mission is to protect the United States and its allies and our home and our children and everything. So everything you see us do on the product side, everything you see us do in the Intel world, everything across the board, we're aligned to protect what's important to us.
So if I got that right, you're both great at giving swag and t-shirts and then superheroes?
Yeah, that's exactly the story I tell at dinner to my kids.
I'm a superhero. I'm just in a really cool polo shirt.
Right.
Love it. Love it. So you were talking a little bit about, kind of the organization and the great name there. So what kind of skill sets or roles are y'all typically hiring for at BlueHalo?
It's varied, but definitely software engineers, system administrators, and all types of flavors of analysts. Like I said, I think if you have the right clearance levels and there's a job you want to do, we probably have it on a program somewhere or in one of our partnerships.
Wonderful. And speaking of flavors, I guess it's not really a flavor. It's a little location, but, great segue. Tell us where these positions are located.
We call ourselves Halo Nation because we truly are coast to coast. A lot of the jobs that we're talking about here, cleared work, is in the National Capital Region. We have a large presence here on both sides of the river, Virginia and Maryland. We have a presence in Dayton, Ohio, large presence in Albuquerque and Huntsville as well. But we have more remote, smaller sites all across the country as well.
Awesome. And you just gave me the great tee up to our next question, because as you know, one of those big challenges we have within the space is a lot of people got a taste for remote and hybrid after the pandemic. So talk to us a little bit about the work. Is it all on site? Are there any hybrid opportunities?
Yeah, so the challenge of utilizing your clearance is that it does limit some of those flexibilities, but we don't take away any flexibility artificially. If the program allows for remote work, we allow for remote work. And that does happen across the board on our programs. We have a lot of hybrid schedules where you could do a day from home a week, or you could do a couple hours in the office, a couple hours from home. But if the mission you're supporting supports that type of flexibility, so do we. We have a very friendly PTO accrual rate. It also grows with your career, where you start getting more days at year 3, and it keeps going astronomically high if you're here with us for a long time. Then the flexibility of all the programs I've seen is really about getting to a certain amount of hours in the day. But if you want to start at 8, you can start at 8. If you have the kids' soccer game, you come in at 6, you're done at 2. You can make it to the school in time to watch the game at 4, 5, 6. Whatever it is, if it's your life, we work with you. We do have part-time opportunities. We have people who work 30 hours. We have people who work 40. So a conversation with your manager about what it is you need out of life, and we can always make something work.
Love it. Sounds like flexibility and willingness to listen to what's needed. So that's always appreciated. And something I found interesting when just kind of looking at some of the different job descriptions and roles that are posted there is that some of the positions, just because they're highly sensitive and they're classified in nature, you can't always spill all the beans about all of the requirements for all of those pieces. But from a candidate perspective, they want to make sure that they're the right fit. So kind of your recommendation that I understand is that the first step is for the candidate to ask for a quick call with the project manager, someone like you who might be able to help them. So walk us through that scenario and tell us a little bit more about what you would recommend in a situation like that.
I think that a candidate should be quick to say, hey, this sounds like it's in line with what I want to do, but I have some questions about it before I enter the process and waste my own time and any time of other people. I'd like to hear more about it directly from the person who's hiring. And I think folks are afraid to do that because they think that's out of line, but it's not. I think everybody's mutually on the same page that nobody wants to waste anybody's time. Say, I'm interested in joining your candidate pipeline, but I would really love a 15-minute call with the PM. Nothing would make me happier than to talk to somebody for 15 minutes and get them excited about the work, or find out that, hey, we're not on the same page and there's other opportunities over here I can help you with. Or maybe this isn't the right spot because there's a miscommunication on the job posting. But 15 minutes, 30 minutes is really a call that's mutually beneficial for everybody, and we'd be happy to do it. And I don't think anybody should be scared to ask.
Great advice.
That's absolutely amazing. Yes, because I think a lot of people would agree with you. Let's get through some of the hurdles on the certifications and the experience, all the things that you need to fill or your recruiting team really needs to fulfill as far as the contract is concerned. But then also it's like, what's the core? What's the passion? What is the team all about? So that's really great. And that really leads to sort of the career development going on at BlueHalo. And in some of our pre-calls, you talked about BlueHalo is really hiring someone for a career, not just a position, not just something specific to fill your billet for the contract. To me, that sounds like internal mobility, career development are really important considerations. So do you want to sort of paint a picture of how that would look at BlueHalo?
Yeah, we hire somebody for their career here at BlueHalo. It may just so happen to first align with this position that was advertised that you applied to or that a recruiter reached out to you about. But that's not where we stop with you. We want you to be here for life. I know the trend is for people to job hop a lot, but that's really a fix to companies not growing their own people and not offering internal mobility. If we can offer that internally, then we think that we can have a higher retention rate and keep people here. And you don't have to jump around for some of the benefits that have been so lucrative in the past to jump around for. So with that, we have to create some programs that help. So as you come in through the process, if you want to try something different after a certain amount of time, or you lose coverage because contracts come and go or shrink and grow, we have an internal mobility program that TA runs. You go on a big board like you're an athlete, and all the PMs are going to a meeting once a week and saying, oh, I have a spot that fits that person. And that's our official program, but the PMs are in constant communication. There's a lot of good peer groups. Someone's like, well, I'm a little worried about this group of people. And I say, I actually have 2 openings that have that sort of thing. And if you come see our space, there's a lot of collaboration space. There's a lot of kitchen area that it looks like everyone's just having fun, but it's really, that's where the magic happens for making sure people are able to move. And it's not just for coverage, but also growth. Somebody could outgrow the position they're in. Sometimes LCATs can grow with you. Sometimes they can't. So we have to come up with a way that you can grow internally, whether you want to get into management, whether you just want to continue being senior and technical, whether you want to try something completely different. We try to have all those options available here.
Sounds amazing. Rachel, I know you are teeing up for one of your favorite questions.
I do love this one so much, and I'm so excited to ask you, Mark, because I think you're going to like it too. Y'all do something really special for onboarding and really the employee engagement experience throughout their career there. So something that I've heard, the rumor mill says that you teach a class called Halo to your new hires. Walk us through some of the things that the organization and company is doing to support those new hires on the BlueHalo Nation. Now that's fun to say.
Sure. And you mentioned before that I'm the second BlueHalo person. My partner in crime in this class, Halo New, is Sarah Williamson, who was your last partner.
Yes.
So the two of us have worked to take this course across the entire country. We think there's a lot of special stuff happening at BlueHalo. We want to showcase that, but we don't want someone to join BlueHalo and have to take 2 or 3 years to discover every pocket of awesomeness. So we want to arm you with that in the first 90 days that you're at the company. So you come in, we go through some normal orientation things. Again, this isn't to replace what HR does. They're going to set you up with your benefits and explain the company to you. What we're trying to do is show you the cool factor. You just joined something bigger than a company. We said we're protecting people. You want to hear those success stories. You want to see how we're distributed across the country and how each person's role is effectively creating that blue halo around everything we care about. So you get some success stories. So it runs about 4 hours and we get people really excited. We've gotten great feedback about how much people enjoy coming in just to hear the so what. Nobody wants to be a cog in the machine. Everybody wants to see the bigger picture, and that's the goal of Halo New.
I really appreciate that. I know with orientation and that kind of thing, it can be overwhelming. Mm-hmm. You're filling out an I-9 and you're, where do I sign up and when does this start? But to get to hear kind of from the horse's mouth, I'm not calling you a horse, but to really get to understand what it's like to be part of there, to kind of understand where the secret doors are, or understand don't get that when you go through the vending machine. Those things are just invaluable. And I think such a great way to really set somebody up in a career. So thanks for championing that. And thanks for really caring about the employees even after day one.
No problem. I had one more thing to add about it.
Please add 2. Come on.
All right. I think this is just me, and it's, I don't have the right certifications to start talking about psychology, but there is something I've noticed that everyone thinks that everybody else's job is cool, and they're so used to theirs that it doesn't seem as cool. So when I'm on the services side, providing a service to the government for Intel or whatever, I'm a software engineer or whatever it is that I'm doing, that becomes very plain and boring to me because I've done it forever, right? So then I hear the product side and I'm like, whoa, we have drone defense systems and all these type of things. That's really cool. But then when I talk to the drone defense guys, they're like, whoa, you wrote software that did what? And so anyway, that's a really cool secret sauce too, is getting people exposed to the parts of the company they won't ever touch with their, well, I shouldn't say never because we have the internal mobility and all those opportunities, but their skill set isn't aligned to sell products. So they get that cool factor of seeing what other people do here, something that they wouldn't normally see without this course.
You keep saying secret sauce, and now I'm hungry. I mean, and down in Louisiana, I know that Rachel knows lots of great secret sauces. I just like a nice béarnaise or something like that. But
she's not telling you enough. She ate a roux, and she liked it, and she lived to tell about it. So it was a gumbo with a roux, and she's still here, friends.
I'm still here. Anyway, moving on. Now that I got everyone hungry. Speaking about hunger for competing for cleared talent. You guys have a secret sauce with that one as well. Is it chocolate sauce or is it something more you put on barbecue?
I think the secret sauce there is just culture. We have to align. What we're looking for is people who are at the top of their career field who don't want to be part of a 40-person team where everybody does 10%. They want a 4-person team that is all highly motivated and skilled individuals, and everyone's making each other better. And that's what we're really looking for. So some of the things I talk to candidates about is you're coming to a great team and you're a great candidate. So there's no picking up the slack for somebody else. There's no, I have to do 110% because somebody isn't doing their part. Everybody here is doing great things, and it just keeps making each other better and better and better. But it's the culture of the company that really matters, I believe, as far as the secret sauce of how you stand out in a business park where everybody's competing over the very few people.
So, Mark, I would love to hear if you don't mind sharing with us some interviewing or maybe some job search tips for those cleared candidates out there. Sounds like you've got some great experience and some great insight. So, share them with us.
Sure. One of the biggest things people forget is how much I want them to succeed in the interview as much as they want to succeed. We've invested time already, even for you to come in the door. We're not looking for gotcha questions. We're not looking to trick you. We want you to succeed as much as you want to succeed in that interview. Again, especially if you take my advice earlier to call the PM, by then we should have established there's a cultural fit, there's an alignment of your skills and what's necessary, and everybody's rooting for you through this whole process. We want to add you to BlueHalo. We want you to come in and be a piece of the larger picture here.
So, talking about cool stuff, talking about secret sauces, to inspire our audience out there, because everyone is in the drudgery of job search and they don't think it's fun or cool. I hear that you have a really cool hiring experience that you think will inspire our listeners.
Yes, there's somebody from my network actually who applied to join us, and it didn't work out. They weren't technically as far along in their career as we needed for that position. A really cool thing that doesn't happen too often is after it didn't work out and they were rejected for that position, they reached out and said, could you give me feedback on why I failed to meet the requirements? And we did. We put a lot of thought into it, and we just said, hey, there's this certification missing. Getting your degree in this would be nice. This is some years of experience you should work on. This is a skill set you would need to have. And they went and checked all those boxes over the next 2 years. And I ran into them and he's like, well, you guys were just being nice, but I did go do everything you said. And I said, we weren't being nice. Come back and interview again. And they interviewed again and we hired them. And we thought that was the coolest story ever. It was like, this is the type of person we want. Forget the skill set you have. Somebody who's willing to take some feedback, grow themselves, check those boxes, say, okay, somebody said I don't have enough of this. I can fix that. That's more valuable than any skill set you would have. That shows who you are as a human. And that's the type of people that we want at BlueHalo. I would say anytime something doesn't work out, if you think your dream job's out there and you fell a little short of it, ask for feedback, address the deficiencies, and come straight back. Because like I said, they want to hire you as much as you want to be hired.
Well, I know that our listeners definitely are going to want to get in contact with your organization and definitely find their perfect career there. You've got the culture secret sauce, you've got great swag, you've got it going on over there. So how in the heck can they get a hold of you and your team?
You can go to BlueHalo.com and it has information. We have a presence on LinkedIn. You can email me personally, mark.diehl@BlueHalo. That's the secret sauce there. Well, since that's the theme of the podcast, it's just our first dot last name. So anybody you want to talk to at BlueHalo, you have the code to be able to email them. But yeah, just reach out. If you have a friend at BlueHalo, we have lots of hiring programs. We have welcome vets. So there's a program to help you through if you're a veteran. There's an ambassador program where they'll say you are a veteran, to use that example, and you want to talk to somebody about stuff that the recruiters don't usually cover, just like, hey, how is it? What is it really like? We have these ambassadors who will come from a similar part of life as you, to say maybe I have a family, maybe I'm a single person, whatever, but they can walk you through their experience having that same lifestyle. And everyone has a referral program. We have a Hire My Friend one where even if you don't want to come to BlueHalo or you can't, for whatever reason, if you have someone you know is a fit, you can get an external referral bonus for referring them through this process. So there's all kinds of ways inside the door, but I would always start, if you know somebody, reach out, ask them how it is. You don't have to take my word for it. But find a BlueHalo employee and ask them about their experience and ask them to get you started in the pipeline.
Wonderful. So we went from great swag, being a superhero, to finding what the secret sauce is. Mark, it's been really great talking with you today. Thank you for joining Rachel and I in the podcast studio.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I had fun.
It was so great talking with Mark Diehl from BlueHalo, and he had some really great points. I really loved the presentation that he put together with our previous guest, Sarah Williamson, on the BlueHalo Nation, and sort of giving incoming employees just this sort of overview of all the different things the company does. Because sometimes when you come into a company, you interview for a position, but you can't see the horizon. You can't see all the other things that you could be involved in. Rachel, what did you like?
Well, there was so much. What couldn't you like? There was secret sauce. There were superheroes. There was swag. But I really did appreciate, even from his lens as kind of in that project manager space, really the care and the thoughtfulness they put into that employee engagement. But then even a step further, caring about the candidate experience enough to say, hey, if the job description isn't very clear, that's okay. Call and ask, and we'll tell you a little bit more about what that looks like. So I just really appreciate the thoughtfulness from the candidate all the way to the hiring manager experience. And I also appreciate you. And we thank you for listening.
It's so great to have you guys with us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm loving the cold weather. I know you're not, but I'm loving the cold weather.
Shame on you. I have so many cute sweaters that are just sitting there mocking me. Just, one day. For that one day that we get winter. It'll be great.